Hello, dear students. So, today in this video, I'll continue your chapter number 12, Reproduction in Plants. So, before starting today's video, let's recap what we have discussed earlier. So, we started the chapter with the definition of reproduction, types of reproduction, that is asexual and sexual reproduction. Then we discussed the various ways of asexual reproduction like vegetative reproduction, vegetative propagation, fragmentation, budding, spore formation, etc. After that, we continued with sexual reproduction. So, we were discussing the sexual reproduction in plants. Let's revise the concept again. Reproductive parts of a flower. Let me recap again. That reproductive flowers are the reproductive part in the plants and the male part of the flower. So see the diagram. This is a picture of a flower. You can clearly see in this picture the male and female part of the flower. So children, this yellowish part you can see is the stamen, which is the male reproductive part of a flower. And this part, this is a tube-like structure which is known as a carpel or pistil, we can say. This is a female reproductive part of a flower. Next, stamen is further divided into two parts. Here is a stamen. We have said that it is a male organ, and this stamen has been divided into two parts. First is upper part is known as the anther, and this lower slim tube-like structure is known as a filament. And anther has pollen grains inside it. Fine. Next, let's see the structure of a carpel or the female organ. So on the top of this, here is a stigma. Here next is a tube-like structure which is known as a style. And at the base of this part, there is a swollen portion which is known as ovary. And inside the ovary, there are ovules. Small bead-like structure is there inside the ovary which is known as ovules. So these are the reproductive parts of a flower. This is a male reproductive, that is a stamen, and this is a female reproductive part of a flower which is known as a carpel or we can say pistil. Next, today we'll study about the pollination. What is pollination and how it takes place? So already we have read that in anther, pollen grains are present and that pollen grains are transferred from one flower to the another flower. So first of all, before starting the concept, you should know the definition of pollination. Pollination is the transfer of pollen grains from anther to the stigma of a flower is called pollination. So see, this is the simplest definition of the pollination, that when pollen grains transferred from anther to stigma, it's known as pollination. Next, by whom this pollination is done? So pollination is transferred, pollen grains are transferred by wind, water or insect. About it we'll study after this slide, that how the pollen grains are transferred by wind, water or insects. Next children, there is two type of pollination. One is self pollination and other is cross pollination. Now let's study that what is a self pollination. If pollen grains land on the stigma of the same flower, then it is known as self pollination. So children, just mind it, listen it very carefully. If the pollen grain from anther just move to the stigma of same flower. Here we are talking about the same flower. If anther is transferring to stigma of the same flower, then it is known as a self pollination. Okay. And on the other hand, if pollen grains of one flower lands on the stigma of the another flower, then it is known as cross pollination. I hope it's clear to you, and I can show you here with the help of a diagram. See, here is a picture of a flower. This is a female stigma, female part of the flower, and this is the anther. And this is present in the same flower. Here I am talking about the same flower. If anther transferred to the stigma of the same flower, then here is a self pollination. And on the other hand, if the anther are transferred from one to the stigma of the another flower, like here from the here anther are transferring to the second flower, then it is known as a cross pollination. Children, you know that insect visit flowers and they carry away pollen on their body. When they sit on the one flower, the pollen get attached to their body, and or when they sit to the another flower, in this way the pollen grains are transferred. So already we had discussed the transfer of the pollen grain from anther to stigma is known as pollination. So here one more question can be there, that why flowers are generally so colorful, and they are having a fragrance also. Is it to attract the insects? So children, what do you think, that why the flowers are so colorful and they are having very good fragrance? So yes, answer is yes, that the it is this, that flowers attract the insects towards themselves, and when the flowers attract the insects towards it, the process of pollination may take place. So we have discussed about the two types of pollination here, the self pollination and cross pollination.